Hey guys, Sean Murphy here with Living on the South Shore of MA, and I want to take you on a tour of some of the more popular rental properties that we have here on the South Shore. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, before I get into the list and show you these properties, these are more of the larger scale residential rental properties that have been built on the South Shore here. If you're looking for more of a single family home, something that feels more neighborhood like, reach out to me. I get a ton of these rental properties that are my clients. They are local landlords, and I lease them out for them. I can definitely let you know of others that are up and coming. But every single one of these properties right here, you can go directly to their website. You can look up their availability and contact them directly and get a tour of these properties. So without further ado, let's get into the list. Now, first and foremost, the most popular spots on the South Shore here are the Avalon and the Avalon residences in the Hingham shipyard. The Avalon is that development in the middle there with the big parking lot and pool, and the Avalon residences was built 10 years later. It's top left of the screen right now with that other pool as well. Both owned by the Avalon Company, which is a local Boston-based company. Now, here's a view of Hingham in regards to Boston, that red pin being downtown Hingham, and a closer-up view, that blue pin being the Hingham shipyard where both of these properties are. As you can see from that flyover that we did, both properties have their own pools, they have their own indoor gyms, they have their own clubhouse spaces that you can rent out. The amenities are fantastic. They've thought of everything. They even have outdoor space with barbecues and a playground and just areas to lounge. Now, I'm driving through this. Obviously, the bigger development, the original Avalon development, is what we're driving through right now. The Avalon Residences is just one big building, but this was built in 2008. It's got 229 units. Some of them are apartment style, like what you see to the right here. Others are set up in a smaller apartment building, and then you even have townhomes, side-by-side townhomes. But as you can see, plenty of parking. They have a lot of street parking for those units that do not come with a garage. But as we kind of turn around here, you will notice there are apartment buildings like this one to our right that does come with garage spaces. Now, you're not guaranteed one in those apartment buildings, but you have the option. All the townhomes have their own garages, as you can see on the left here. But if you look straight ahead, this is the Avalon Residences building. This was built in 2018. It's a separate property, so they're not connected. But that one also has all the same amenities, its own pool, its own gym, its own playground, and it's got underground parking as well, 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. So either one, you can't go wrong. They have a number of different setups in both of them. The Avalon here that we're driving through obviously has more options when it comes to different styles of rentals, whether it's a townhome, a 3-floor townhome. They have 2-floor with a loft, 2-bedroom rentals, and then they have 1-bedroom rentals in some of these apartment buildings. Now, these two properties are the most popular because of its ease of commute into the city. The ferry leaves right out of the shipyard, goes right into the city. So if you're moving here from somewhere else in the country, it couldn't be any easier. You got grocery stores in the shipyard here, you got shopping, restaurants, everything is right here. So it makes that initial move, that relocation move, very, very simple. And that is why these are the two most popular spots for rental properties on the South Shore. Next up, we have the Cove in Hingham, Massachusetts. Now, this is right outside of the shipyard, so right near the Avalon and the Avalon Residences. But this is one of the newer buildings in the area. And in my opinion, it's the nicest, most luxurious one you're going to find. Now, again, this is right near the shipyard. I'm going to show you this map once again to kind of show you where Hingham is. Downtown Hingham being that red pin. But the proximity to Boston is incredible, making the commute really simple. Now, here's the blue pin where the Cove is, right next to the shipyard. But look at this pool. They built this to feel like you are at some 5-star hotel in Miami. They did a fantastic job with this. And in the summertime, it is the spot to be with that pool. Now, here are some pictures of the units. They have 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. They're all apartment style. 2 buildings, as you saw from that flyover. Each building has underground parking. Now, we'll take a quick drive through so you can see what it looks like, but 220 units in between these 2 buildings. As I mentioned, both have underground parking. You'll notice one entrance to the parking garage right here to our right. Now, we're coming up on the main building on our right with the pool. The building on the left is kind of the secondary building, but both same style, built at the same time. And you'll notice these are the Hingham youth football fields to our left here.
So a lot of open space. But here's the main building, a little entrance in. And as I circle around, you'll notice there are the football fields straight ahead. And then as we even come around, there is a private entrance into Bear Cove Park, which is a fantastic public park in Hingham, right alongside one of the inlets. You can walk your dog, you can go for bike rides. It's a great little spot. So really nice building here, really nice complex. They did a great job with this build out. In my opinion, it's one of the nicer build outs and complexes in the area. But because of that, prices are high. They're probably the most expensive ones around, and the availability is super limited. But right across the street, you got Stop and Shop. You got all the shopping in the Shipyard, as well as all of the restaurants and all of that. Another view from the street of the Cove. Now on to the estates in Hull, Massachusetts. Now this 163-unit complex was built in 2000, so it's one of the older ones that we have here on the South Shore. But it is in a great location right at the beginning of Hull, at the beginning of Nantasket Beach. Now, here is Hull, right next to Hingham and Cohasset. You can see its proximity to Boston, and that red pin being downtown, and then that blue pin being where the Estates is located. Now, the Estates, originally built by the Avalon Company, which we talked about of the Hingham Shipyard development. So, very similar feel. Got a big outdoor space, big pool, a clubhouse. They have a gym as well. And then the units range from 1 to 2 bedroom units. They do not have any 3-bedroom units in here. Now, you're going to notice a lot of similarities between this property and the Avalon in the Hingham Shipyard, as it was owned by the same company, built by the same company. They sold it years ago, so a different company manages it now. But it's a very well-built, well-taken care of community. As mentioned, 163 units. It was built in 2000. So, you know, it's a little dated compared to the Cove, compared to some of the other ones you'll see down on the list here. But the location, in my mind, is fantastic. You're right at the beginning of Hull. So you got Nantasket Beach. You've got downtown Hull, you know, a couple minutes down the road. But then you're very, very close to Hingham, the Hingham Ferry, and Cohasset. Now, Hull has its own ferry service into the city, but getting to that is probably a little further than going back to the Hingham Shipyard. But as you kind of drive around, you'll notice a lot of separate garage units, because not all of these buildings have garage units built in. They're more apartment-style type buildings. But again, no through traffic, super quiet in here. The only people driving in and out are the people that live within the complex. But a ton of amenities as well, just like all the other properties. They have a little dog park, a lot of trails going in and out. They have a gym, and of course, the pool. So you notice that building straight ahead on the other side of the Rotary. That's the clubhouse. You go right through there, and you get access to the pool, which is fantastic to have in the summertime. Next up, we have the Preserve in Cohasset, Massachusetts. Now, this is the only complex in Cohasset. It's right off of 3A, and it's actually at one of the highest points in town. So some of these units you can actually have incredible ocean views from. But here's Cohasset right next to Hingham and Hull, red pin being downtown Cohasset, and then the blue pin, of course, being the Preserve. Now, one beauty about being in Cohasset is you get access to Sandy Beach. You got to live in town to get a Sandy Beach pass, but if you live in the Preserve, you can get that. Now, you'll probably notice a similar look between the Estates and the Preserve. Both built by the Avalon, and the Avalon Company has since sold them. But some of the units look like this, have been nicely updated, and then others look like this, where they are original to being when they were built in 2012. Now, as mentioned, at one of the highest points in Cohasset, so we're going to speed up the drive up the hill here. But as you come up, you'll notice the similarities in the look and the build of the Estates. Obviously, both built by the same company. There's the clubhouse. There's the pool right behind these cars. The pool is incredible. One of my favorite pools of all the complexes in the area. And then you'll see these townhomes on your right. These are 3-floor townhomes on the right with garage spaces. And then the apartment-style buildings are to our left. Now, there are 220 units within this complex. Only 1- and 2-bedroom units are available. They never built any 3-bedroom units. Some of the townhomes have an extra room on the main floor next to the garage, but it's more of an office-type use, as there aren't any closets, and the only bathrooms are on the 2nd and 3rd floors. But they did a great job with the build-out here. A lot of trails, playgrounds, the pool, the clubhouse, the indoor gym, all of those amenities that you find at the other Avalon residences, they have here as well. Next up, we have the Sanctuary at Herring Brook in Scituate, Massachusetts. Now, this is right off of 3A, just outside of downtown. Scituate was just built in 2022, but it's one of the smaller complexes with only 60 units in the one building here. Now, here is Scituate just next to Cohasset, red pin being downtown Scituate right on the harbor there. And then, of course, the blue pin, again, being where the Sanctuary is located right off of 3A. But really, really nice building. Again, it's one of the smaller spots. They have 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. They're all apartment style. But as you can see, they did a really nice job with the build-out. These are very high-end build-outs that they have here. As I pull in, this was a rainy day, unlike the other days. We had a classic kind of New England spring day here. Anyways, you got some garage spaces that you can get. They do not automatically come with garage spaces, but you can rent one of those as well as renting your apartment here. But very small little complex. Plenty of parking for all the units. But they have a nice little lounge area outside with some public grills that you can use. And this backside of the building has the views of the wetlands, the inlets, and the further view of the ocean there. But this is a quick little drive through because there isn't a lot to see here. But here's the front of the building and the entrance into the Sanctuary. And the last one on the list here, Sky Sail at Driftway in Scituate, Massachusetts. This is the newest one on the list, just being completed in 2023. But again, another great complex in Scituate. Not as many amenities as some of these Avalons, but very, very nice. Now here is Scituate again, red pin being downtown Scituate. And then here is the blue pin where the Sky Sail at Driftway complex is. There are 78 apartments in this complex here, all 1 or 2 bedroom units. But this is also the only complex that has retail and commercial space within it. So it's on the ground floor of the front building. Now, I'm going to show this to you. One thing to note, to the right here is the commuter rail. So this is the Greenbush line that goes right into South Station into Boston. So the commute is very, very simple. But here we go as we enter into the Sky Sail, the main entrance, or one of the main entrances. There are 2 of them. You'll see the 2 buildings with this little corridor in between. The building to the left is the front one. That has the commercial and retail space, 9,000 square feet of commercial and retail space. I don't know if anything has been leased just yet, but you would imagine there'll be some coffee shops in there. There'll be some restaurants, some good locations to have. Again, right across from the commuter rail, but to have it right in your complex is really nice. But as we come around the corner here, this is the leasing office that we're going to pass on the left here. You'll get a good view of the Greenbush line right across the street. There it is. So you literally just walk to the train, hop on, get right into the city. So you can see they're still trying to finish up some work here, but with underground parking, the proximity to downtown Scituate and this commute, I would imagine this will fill up pretty quickly. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or anything I can help with, let me know. But for further details, check the links below.